We're coming to you live from our studios here at Adisawe, Kanda. Coming up this morning, security experts admonish Interior Ministry to prevent delay in announcing a new roadmap for gun licensing. Also this morning, Majority Leader calls for legislation to make it mandatory for institutions, factories and public agencies to reserve a quota of jobs for persons with disabilities. Also in this bulletin, we've got more for you, including that Ghana and England match where there was a draw. Stay with us because we're bringing you those details. I'm Christabel Success Trevor. Thank you for staying with us here on 3FM. Now, security experts have admonished the Interior Ministry to not hesitate on announcing a new roadmap for gun licensing going forward. The call is on the backdrop of the Minister for Interior announcing the revocation of all existing firearm licenses nationwide effective June 23, 2026. The ministry says that this is part of a sweeping overhaul of Ghana's firearms regulatory framework. The minister also announced the completion of government's gun amnesty program, with more than 4,000 unregistered firearms voluntarily surrendered to authorities nationwide.
All permits that has been granted to any individual that you are holding a sidearm or firearm is hereby revoked. We are revoking that, and we are opening a window where everyone will have to come forward again to register or to re-register the gun, because we've changed the procedure.
Now, speaking on Hot Edition on 3FM, security consultant Richard Kumado, while commending the initiative, also called on the ministry to quickly roll out new plans to prevent the gaps.
If the minister wants to succeed, or the Ministry of Interior wants to succeed, there are a number of things that has to be in place. Number one, there has to be a nationwide procedure for people who want to own gun and the registration processes. Number two, there has to be enhanced due diligence for people who trade in arms as a legitimate business. And number three, there has to be a credible system of background checks for people who are willing to own guns in this country. And number four, which is more important, a monitoring regime that ensures that locally manufactured gun owners are being monitored, and the production sites have a system of streamlining their processes. Then the last one is public education, and that we can all help them to do the public education.
Richard Kumado is a security consultant. Majority Leader Mahama Yariga is calling for legislation to make it mandatory for institutions, factories and public agencies to reserve a quota of jobs for persons with disabilities, saying the move will help reduce unemployment among PWDs and promote greater inclusion in the workforce. Government's worldwide mandates employment quotas to ensure inclusivity for persons with disabilities. In Ghana, administration policies are actively pushing to enforce a minimum 5% employment quota across both public and private sectors. He also urged political parties to adopt quota systems to enable more persons with disabilities to contest as parliamentary candidates to ensure their interests are better reflected in decision-making and governance.
We as a country must consider it as a major national embarrassment when our colleagues have to earn their living at traffic lights begging. And so, as a parliament, we must enact legislation which will compel a quota in every factory, in every organization, in every institution. Same way that we are enacting quotas for gender, we must also enact quotas for disabled persons. So that every institution must show that a certain number of its workers are disabled persons, because invariably there's no way that you won't find a disabled person who is qualified on his own to be employee of a certain factory, company, or organization. And so we must make it a quota for every agency, institution to ensure that they have a certain number of disabled persons engaged by them.
Mahama Yariga is majority leader. 9 persons, including the brother of former Dome Kwabenya MP Sarah Adwoa Safo, have been granted bail of 500,000 Ghana cedis by the Adenta Circuit Court. The suspects are alleged to have been involved in a shooting incident that resulted in injuries to the former legislator on Sunday, June 21. Lord Eduasare reports.
The 9 accused persons linked to the shooting incident at Kwabenya were arraigned before the circuit court in handcuffs under heavy security. Among them was Nana Kweju Safo Akofena, brother of Sarah Adwoa Safo. According to the prosecution, during a ceremony to install Kweju Safo as successor to the late Apostle Kweju Safo Kantanka, the former Dome Kwabenya MP arrived at the premises but was denied entry, leading to sporadic gunfire that caused her to sustain varying degrees of gunshot injuries. The 8 suspects, identified as personal security guards, were disarmed by the police, who retrieved 6 pump-action guns with 42 rounds of ammunition, as well as 2 pistols. Tamaklo Safo Jehoshaphat, Kwabna Safo, Benjamin Amakwasam, Bedu Enoch, Richard Aite, and others were charged with the use of offensive weapons, possession of explosives, firearms and ammunition, violation of the Prohibition of Vigilante Groups and Related Activities Act, discharging firearms in a public place, and causing unlawful damage. The remaining accused persons are Nana Kweju Efriye, Gideon Safo, and Kweju Safo Kumsin. They pleaded not guilty to all charges. Their lawyers, led by Professor Kwame John, prayed for bail for the accused persons, arguing that they are not vigilantes but registered private security personnel. The court granted all 9 accused persons bail of 500,000, with 2 sureties each not to be justified. The case has been adjourned to September 30. Lodi Dasari, Accra.
Greater Accra market queens have thrown their support behind the Makola Market redevelopment project. Addressing the media after several meetings, Mercy Na Afrowa Nijan, president of the Greater Accra Markets Association, said the assembly can proceed with the projects.
What they are doing is about 1/10 of Makola. But even that 1/10, if you finish, can accommodate more than 50%. So why should he say we will not allow? We want development. Accra want development. Nobody will be sent away. They have been given 2 places, community center, Rollins Park, and the body say why nobody stops you, but the place is there. The person is waiting for them. Whoever is ready today, we can take them to the place.
You just heard there the voice of Mercy Na Afrowa Nijan, who is the president of the Greater Accra Markets Association, ending the bulletin here on the morning news on 3FM 92.7. If you don't know, Ghana had a draw with England yesterday in that match, and we're bringing you all those details in our subsequent bulletin. For more stories, please log on to our website 3news.com. My name is Christabel Success Trevor. Business is up next.